Yeah, let's go. Yeah. We came a long way. That's what the song say. And I could do all things.
It's Madden NFL 22 on EA Sports, and today's clash of conferences is just moments away. It's the Chiefs and the football team coming up next.
This building holds just north of 80,000, and they have come out in very good numbers today at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. The enthusiasm for football here on the East Coast always in the air. These folks are ready as their guys get set to match up with the Kansas City Chiefs. Brandon Garden joined by Charles Davis. CD, you look at the Chiefs in this matchup. Their offense is a unit that's not afraid to take chances out there, but not always for the better. What do you see them trying to do here?
I think they'll continue to take those chances, Brandon, but to me, they have to do it in a measured way. And what I mean by that, they can't just come into a game and throw caution to the wind and just say we're going to run a bunch of gadget plays, a lot of reverses, end arounds, all of those things. They've got to identify the spots where they want those plays to pay off, which means you have to set them up, and then when they present themselves, take full advantage.
Here's the kicker, Harrison Butker, ready to get this one started. And we are underway from FedEx Field. DeAndre Carter now from his end zone. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line. The Washington offense ready to take over, and you see Taylor Heineke at the helm in his second season with the football team.
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it has permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give him a better chance to lead the team to wins.
A run here for J.D. McKissick. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
Second down at 4. The first carry for the Memphis man, Antonio Gibson. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
In today's NFL, you hear all the time about stretching the field and creating space in order to run plays. A toss play will help accomplish that because now you're pushing a defense to chase you all the way to the edges and to the sideline. That's a nice run, probing now early to try and get things done later.
They'll run with Gibson. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important third down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
Here's 2nd and 9. And they'll try to throw now. Heineke. And his throw here's incomplete.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Heineke now. And oh, that nearly an opening drive INT, but it does fall incomplete. Not the way you wanted to start this ball game as it brings up 4th down. So on 4th down, Washington going to call on Tress Way to punt it away. It's a return of 5 following a punt of 42 yards. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. Patrick Mahomes now in his 5th season with the Chiefs, ready to bring out this high-powered Kansas City offense for the first time.
And while I don't equate starting record as a quarterback to pitchers in baseball, it still gives us a great baseline. And Patrick Mahomes, 38-8 as a starting quarterback for Kansas City in the regular season. Throw in 6-2 in the playoffs, including a Super Bowl 54 victory. You've got one of the best ones in the game. And if you're a Kansas City fan, how excited are you? He's signed through 2031. He will be your quarterback for a long time.
Throwing on 1st down is Mahomes. That's out to Hill, right side complete. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45.
Illegal touching. Offense.
Man, why are we doing this? They ain't moving the ball on this D. Yeah.
From the gun, it's Mahomes. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a 1st down.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10, right at the 40. Mahomes now to throw. He'll let this go for the end zone. And this one is incomplete.
I like the thought process there. They connected on a big play, and sometimes you find the defense vulnerable. So they went for the bigger shot, went for it all on that one. This time, they were ready for it.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Working from the gun, Mahomes. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
That was a nice grab. Just couldn't get the feet down, right? You need that toe tap sequence there. Whatever size shoe he's wearing, probably need about a half size smaller to complete that one.
So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. Looking to throw is Mahomes. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. Well, instead of fourth down after the incompletion, it'll be first down, roughing the passer.
Coaches love their defenses to be aggressive, but they want them to be smart as well. Have to leave the quarterback alone at a certain point.
A bad time for a roughing penalty, and they get the gift of a 1st and 10. Play action. Now it's Mahomes. Flush to his right. Fights him off. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. Now it appears we've got a Chief moving pretty gingerly down there. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Operating from the red zone now, Mahomes. And that's caught. It's Kelsey. Touchdown, Kansas City. Travis Kelsey there to make the grab. And the Chiefs are going to take a first-quarter lead. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and it's now a 7-0 game. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it's capped off with a Kansas City touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. No return here for Carter, and this will be a touchback. Now Washington going to retake the field for drive number 2. First down, Heineke. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's a good way to start the drive, 17 yards and a first down.
Curtis Samuel exhibited a lot of versatility for 4 years in Carolina. Now in his first year with Washington, expect this football team to try and put the ball in his hands a variety of ways.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Shotgun handoff to Gibson. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Nice run defense presented there, and what I mean by that is discipline. Guys filling the right gaps in the right holes, no one over pursuing, and making a very nice play.
Now it's 2nd and 9. Here's Heineke. Open man is Samuel, complete. On third down, here's Gibson. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Heineke now looking to throw on first down. Got a man open. It's Ricky Seals-Jones. Touchdown, Washington. Ricky Seals-Jones, 44 yards. And Washington now an extra point away from tying this thing up.
For a big tight end, he can sure move like a slot receiver when he gets a head of steam going. And as a defensive back, you've got a big decision to make when he's moving like that.
Dustin Hopkins on now to add the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the first quarter, and we're tied 7-7. That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays. And it was polished off by a Washington touchdown. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. From the 6. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Kansas City taking the field for their second drive, and they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And Hill with it over the middle. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And that's going to be a Chiefs first down as the tackle made at about the 38.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire is a do-it-all back, and he did plenty on that run. And as a rookie, 803 yards rushing for the season, and Kansas City may look to up his workload a little bit in year 2. The last pick of the first round in 2020, he more than justified that selection with his ability to run the football and catch it out of the backfield.
A first down run not going to get him a whole lot. Maybe a yard. And it looks like just 1 yard there. So that'll bring up 2nd and 9.
Not the kind of gain that we'll go absolutely crazy for, but it's the kind of gain that you need to have when you're running back in the NFL. And Clyde Edwards-Helaire, with that low center of gravity and strength, he's going to get those tough, gritty yards for you when necessary.
On 2nd and 9, Mahomes throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
We talk all the time about playmakers on offense, but let's face it, there are plenty of playmakers on defense too. I think we just saw an example of one, didn't we? Not force that incompletion.
Yeah, he's a great corner. They got a couple of them on that side of the football. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Now Mahomes. He'll drop that off to Edwards-Helaire. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line. And that is not near enough. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
On 4th down, Tommy Townsend to punt for Kansas City. DeAndre Carter back deep. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
And the Washington offense going back to work. And they will begin with, should we call it, far from ideal starting field position, their own 2-yard line.
So what's your definition of ideal?
The 1-yard line on the other side of the field.
Yes, exactly right. So, yes, your definition is apropos in this case.
Out of his end zone, Heineke. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Very good as a rookie. Terry McLaurin was even better in 2020. 87 catches for over 1,100 yards. He is definitely wide receiver 1 for the Washington football team.
On 1st down, it's Gibson, able to shake free for about 7 up to the 35. Well, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
3 yards remain for 2nd down. And here's a give to Gibson. And this won't be enough to pick up the 1st. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
If they're going to get a 1st down out of this, they're going to have to earn it because there's been tough going in the interior there. And here we are on 3rd and 1. Be prepared. Brace yourself. Going to be some contact going on.
On 3rd down, Gibson. And down he goes, but the stiff arm utilized effectively there, and it helps him move the sticks.
I like this focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need 1. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. A handoff for Gibson. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Sometimes that's the danger of putting that jumbo set out there. You just get a lot of bodies massed in one location. You could wind up with 18, 20, maybe even all 22 in the box, and there's nowhere to run the football.
Second and 11. Heineke to throw it. Pressure gets there on Heineke, and down he goes. Like a freight train there, Derek Nottie with a sack.
But nothing takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Now after the sack, Heineke and the Washington offense going to face a tough 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going deep for Brown. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
I'll tell you what, these last couple of drives, much better from a defensive perspective. They gave up a touchdown on the opening drive, and then after forcing a punt on their last possession, it looks like they're going to get the football back again.
Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And Kansas City's offense now set and ready to go. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10, right at the 30. Here's Mahomes to throw. They complete it to Hill. 7 yards, the pickup there. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
And that's going to be a Chiefs first down as the tackle made at about the 43-yard line. (7-7), our score after 1. The Chiefs with the football as we start the second quarter, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. To throw, it's Mahomes. Caught, Kelsey, left side. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs first down.
And these two continue to work so well together. Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelsey. Maybe the best quarterback and tight end in the game today. 105 catches for Kelsey last year. 2nd among NFL tight ends.
Mahomes taps this forward. It's a jet sweep. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 12 more yards there and another first down. Just a simple tap pass, but it pays off in a big way.
And sometimes the simple stuff causes the most problems for a defense because there's a breakdown in communication there. When that receiver goes behind the line of scrimmage and it looks like he's going in motion, someone either has to go with him or he has to be passed off to another defender. Somehow they didn't get that communicated well, and it turned into a nice play.
Now a throw for the All-Pro Kelsey is complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 11 more on that one, and another first down.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
Still 9 remaining on second down. Now here's Mahomes. He'll swing this one out to Edwards-Helaire. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay game.
And he gets the first down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. The drive stays alive, a third down gain of 8.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Mahomes going to throw. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Montez Sweat. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down.
One advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. This is caught by Hill for a Chiefs touchdown. Tyreek Hill there to make the grab, and the Chiefs have taken the lead. That's why you've got your star out there. Throw the ball to him. They did.
That's simply saying we don't care what coverage you put out there. He's so good, we're going there with the football anyway, and there's not a thing you can do about it.
Inside the red zone, they go to him. He gets it done. Butker on for the PAT. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it winds up with the Chiefs hitting pay dirt. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. DeAndre Carter returning it. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but they're losing. And I think as the captain of the offense, you probably always feel like you need to do more in that situation.
The best have always felt that way, and they won't settle for anything less. So right now, his goal is to increase what he's doing on the field, try to make sure his teammates come along with him, and he feels like if I do better, everyone will do better. And that's what we're seeing from him right now. Got to have a little extra determination.
Yeah, the little extra determination. He has thrown the touchdown pass. No interceptions for him personally to this point. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing. Heineke. That one caught. It's the rookie De'Ami Brown. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. Washington on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. From the shotgun, it's Heineke. Got his target, Samuel. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. Third catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down.
Well, they've certainly gotten him involved in this first half, and on third down, they looked his way again. And what a delight for his quarterback to find him and keep the drive moving.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Again, it's Heineke. He'll dump that off to Gibson, complete. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. On 2nd down, a run with Gibson. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Antonio Gibson is an absolute dart with the ball in his hands, and he can make you miss, and he can run over you. Took a little while to crack the starting lineup as a rookie, but boy, was he sensational when he did. Went for 115 yards and 3 scores in a Thanksgiving Day clobbering of the Dallas Cowboys. And Washington, they feel like they had a real find when they took him in the 3rd round last year, number 66 overall, and he justified their decision.
Play clock all the way to 0. Didn't get the snap off. 5-yard penalty.
And you see the head coach writing that note on his play sheet right now. He's going to be addressing that with his staff. A sense of urgency, get to the line of scrimmage, snap the ball.
So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. Working out of the gun. Here's Heineke. And his throw is incomplete. Curtis Samuel, the intended target, but it'll be 2nd down.
That was well defended. They clamped down on every available receiver. Just got to give the win to the defense on that snap.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Looking to throw, Heineke. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
On 3rd down, Heineke. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge, and that's good enough for a 1st down. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 34. Now Heineke. Over the middle, complete to Samuel. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. On 2nd down, it's Gibson. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
So they need 2 yards here on 3rd down. Remember, they're already 2 of 2 on 3rd down conversions on this drive. Now Gibson. Oh, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
And he's going to get the 1st down here as he's taken down at the 22. The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the 1st down marker was and getting there.
They're going to run this with a tight end. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. From the gun, Heineke. He's going to drop this one down to Gibson. Call it a gain of 3, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. To throw is Heineke. Dancing to his left. And he gets the 1st down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, get some 9 yards and a 1st.
With nowhere to throw it, decided to scramble, and a nice job, CD. Got the yardage that he needed.
Yeah, and his teammates are certainly going to appreciate that effort, even if his coaches don't, because they would have wanted him to slide and protect himself. But he chose team gain over personal protection.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the 2nd quarter. 14-7.
Let's go.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Heineke now.
And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the 2nd half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
The KC offense and Clyde Edwards-Helaire getting the ball back here.
The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far, here in the 2nd quarter.
Mahomes' throw caught by his receiver, Hill.
And he'll be out right at the 35. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down.
Another huge season last year for Tyreek Hill, teaming up with Patrick Mahomes. Close to 1,300 yards receiving. 15 touchdowns as well, and that was second only to Devontae Adams. We know about the big plays. Also makes the dependable chain-moving catches as well.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Mahomes.
And he'll look underneath here for Edwards-Helaire.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 13 yards there and a Kansas City 1st down.
Well, they've certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the 1st half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the 2nd half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
Mahomes firing complete. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Mahomes now to throw. It's Kelsey on the ground. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Here we go.
The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. On first down, Mahomes.
Another pass into the reliable hands of Kelsey.
Now another timeout called for by the offense as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. And again, it's Mahomes. And that is caught for the touchdown, Kansas City.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire
there to make the grab. And the Chiefs are able to grow their lead. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions, and they're a PAT from going up 21-7.
Yeah, very impressive the way that they've moved the football. Full command of their playbook, full command of the way they wanted to attack.
Butker now to add the extra point. It's good, and it is now 21-7. That drive goes 80 yards in 6 plays, and it's capped off with a Kansas City touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Here's Carter now on the return. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line.
Anytime that ball comes to me, I'm trying to take it to the house.
Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. A lot of the problems have been on the other side of the ball. Is that frustrating for a quarterback who's been playing well?
It is, but there's no way that the best ones let their teammates know that. They actually take it upon themselves and say, okay, I have to do even more, or I need to play better. Maybe even say I put my defense in a bad spot. That's what true leadership shows you.
Yeah, well, he doesn't need to change much personally.
53 is the mic. 53 is the mic.
Try to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Here's Heineke.
That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds.
10 yards there, good for a Washington first down.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Heineke on first down. And he'll find his tight end, Seals Jones. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts,
as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Stop your whining. 53 is the mic.
to the air again, Heineke.
And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
Certainly no lack of aggressiveness here. They were hoping for the home run play to get them 6 points. They're hoping for a catch, maybe a call, but they figure they can at least get into field goal range with a completion.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down.
Heineke to throw it.
Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
Throwing. Heineke.
And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up 4th. Had to pass there, 3rd and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for 3rd and short, because when it's 3rd and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the first down, even throwing the football.
And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive.
And with 10 seconds left, not really enough time to put something together.
And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Chiefs on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, right, Brandon. Thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to this slimmed-down version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. First, though, a check of the next-gen stats in that first half for Kansas City. And they've definitely been able to exploit some holes in that opposing secondary, as they threw for close to 200 yards in those first 2 quarters. Meanwhile, for Washington, we check on their numbers on the ground in the first half, as they know they'll need to be better to overcome this halftime deficit.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Ready for the start of the 3rd quarter. The Chiefs have the lead and set to receive the football.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled it to 15.
Out comes Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs offense. And a trio of touchdown passes so far. They've got the lead as well. All is good in their football world at this point.
And it's so much fun for our colleagues, right? Think about our producer, our director, everyone putting together these shots. Wouldn't you love to be in the truck right now and hear him calling for it? Give me that one, give me that one, give me that one. And we just saw 3 beautiful touchdown passes.
Now he's looking for 4. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive.
Hey, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
Second down, back to Edwards-Helaire.
And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
An extra man in the secondary for Washington on 3rd down. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Man open is Robinson. And all the way down to the 39.
Don't give them nothing.
They came out with an aggressive mindset to start the 3rd quarter, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them take more of these type of deep shots as this game moves along. They connected there. They expect to connect on more before this one's over.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Mahomes. Complete, the tight end Kelsey. And he's taken down inside the 30.
Let's go.
11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taking them no time at all to get down here, and now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
They'll try and run. This is Williams. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. If this defense wants to stay in this ballgame, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
On 2nd down, a run with Edwards-Helaire. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Chiefs take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
Extra point by Butker is on target. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Here's Carter now on the return. And able to get this out to the 25.
Let's go, fellas.
First possession of the 2nd half now for Washington. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the 2nd half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger. but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
A first down throw for Heineke. Slings this deep for McLaurin. He's got a man, complete. And this will set them up nicely deep down in KC territory. Well, he's been doing this for a lot of years with the arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one.
And that might be just what they needed to get back in this game. Sometimes you need a big play to shake things up, get a little life in your sideline, get everyone believing again, and they got it there in a big way.
Got a man, it's Brown. A gain of 6 there on first. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Working out of the gun. Here's Heineke. And this is taken in for a Washington touchdown. Ricky Seals-Jones, a beast in the red zone with his second touchdown of the game. And Washington able to close the gap just a bit. So he's hit Pater twice, but still they're facing that deficit here in the second half.
So they're going to see if they can continue to find ways to get him the football, because obviously something is working for him to find the end zone twice. In any event, however this turns out, he's going to be hard to deal with in the film room, isn't he? He's going to want to know why he's not getting more passes thrown to him.
Those big tight ends are getting greedy. Extra point good by Hopkins. And the lead will be cut down to 14. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. Patrick Mahomes on his way out for their next drive. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the third quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your coach? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
Well, that's what he's done here in this one so far. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
And partner, to me, that one was all about timing. If he's there too early, it's going to be a pass interference call. If he's too late, it's a completed pass. He was Johnny on the spot on that one.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. This one complete to Mecole Hardman. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. First target, first catch, and a first down.
And Kansas City drafted Mecole Hardman, hoping he could be something of a Tyreek Hill clone. They're still trying to find his exact niche. He did have 41 catches last year, and he makes a nice one there.
Attack! 15, 15!
Mahomes now on first down. This is caught by Robinson. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Now a throw for the All-Pro Kelsey is complete. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 34-yard line. The Chiefs have got the passing game rolling a bit, and another first down. First and 10, it's Edwards-Helaire with it. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, second down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Now Mahomes. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Throwing now is Mahomes. That to his running back, Edwards-Helaire. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. The Chiefs have got the passing game rolling a bit, and another first down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Operating from the red zone now, Mahomes. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
Once you get into the red zone, space is at a premium for receivers to try and operate and shake themselves free. That one's incomplete.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now here's Mahomes. The tight end Kelsey has it over the middle. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
And there's a completion to the tight end, and look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football, and that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Mahomes to throw on 3rd and 1. And it's caught. Touchdown. Mahomes hitting his favorite target, Travis Kelce, on the touchdown pass. And the Chiefs add on to their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Butker on for the PAT. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it winds up with the Chiefs hitting pay dirt.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Taken at the goal line. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
Keep playing hard.
Time again to see Terry McLaurin in the Washington offense. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. After the long touchdown drive we just saw, you wonder if maybe that's taken a little of the wind out of this offense's sails because they had it going pretty good last time, too. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way down to the 29. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zooming past that number there. Boy, and now they can't even get a play off. Not enough sense of urgency there. Play clock hits 0, 5-yard penalty.
Now, I like your point there. Not enough sense of urgency. People walking up to the line of scrimmage, you've got to get up there and get set and be ready to go.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. Now Heineke. That's out to the flat for Gibson. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. Now a 2nd down and 6. On the draw, it's Gibson. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first. Heineke. That one caught by the tight end Bates. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive continues.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down. It's Gibson, and he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. From the shotgun, it's Heineke. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete.
Well, to me, there was no question about the intent there, and I think he was a little fortunate that the penalty flag didn't come out for grounding. But he'll get away with it and get another shot on 3rd down.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Looking to throw, Heineke. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss.
Hopkins' kick is good. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So unable to convert for the touchdown inside the red zone, but they do come away with 3.
Yeah, it's a 32-yarder. That's essentially an extra point nowadays, right? Because it's 33 as a general rule for these guys. So it should be a simple kick. But you know what's really strange nowadays? When they miss an extra point, I think they carry that with them longer than missing a field goal because an extra point's supposed to be automatic.
Absolutely, and I would think even field goals inside of 30 yards, even though they're substantially shorter than a PAT, it just has a different feel, doesn't it?
A different feel, a different vibe. That's what I get from all the kickers I talk to. They always say if I miss an extra point, that's the one that bothers me more.
No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Set to take over, Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. He has been on his A game. We're in the third quarter. He's already in search of touchdown pass number 5.
He's played so well that it's hard for me to take my eyes off of him, even when he's not on the field. I keep finding my eyes finding him on the bench in between series, wondering what he's going to do next. This has been a blast to watch him play the position.
He's been spectacular with those 4 touchdown passes. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Mahomes now to throw. And that's incomplete.
But listen, when you've got the lead, there's absolutely no sense trying to fit a ball in where you shouldn't. You can see the coaching in his head taking place on that play because he saw he had a receiver in the area. He just put it well over his head out of harm's way.
In the third quarter here in D.C., a 2nd and 10 upcoming. To throw, it's Mahomes. They'll set up the screen to Edwards-Helaire. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Well, sometimes despite the best planning, the defense actually has a plan as well, and they blanketed everyone on that play. They were able to close it down and spill in for a loss.
An extra man here in the secondary for Washington on 3rd down. Here's Mahomes to throw. And that is incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Here's the Chiefs punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. .37 yards on the punt with no return. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal, field goal, field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score.
A good starting spot for Washington as they come up 1st and 10
at their 36-yard line.
Heineke now. This one left side caught by Gibson.
And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. 39 yards the distance covered on the catch and run.
We have seen big plays from both quarterbacks throughout this game, and there's another one right there. Going back and forth, almost like 2 excellent guitar soloists trying to top each other with each additional play.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at FedEx Field.
It's Washington with a football, but trailing here as we begin quarter number 4. Heineke now looking to throw on 1st down. They'll set up the screen for Gibson.
7 yards there on the first down screenplay. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
Working with a 2nd and 3. Gibson here running out of the gun. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 47 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 16 times.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. On first down, right back to Gibson. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal. So a decent deficit at this stage in the second half. 4-down territory?
No doubt about it. There's not a chance that he hasn't looked ahead and said, okay, if we gain yardage on this play, this is what we'll do going forward. If we lose yardage, this is the play call that I'll have ready.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Gibson. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Antonio Gibson taking it in from a yard out. And Washington able to capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you kept them out of the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on them. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
Here's Hopkins now for the extra point. And that one makes this an 11-point deficit now. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. Takes it at the 7. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
Come on, fellas.
Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking 1st downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, 1st downs, they can't touch the ball.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their own 24. From the gun, it's Mahomes. It's Kelsey on the ground. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
From the 28, it's 2nd and 5. A shotgun snap and a give to Edwards-Helaire. And boy, this burgundy and gold defense charged up now. They stop him behind the line again.
A loss on that play, and now third down gets tougher. 3rd and 6.
Now that's a nice play. Got me fired up, partner. But can they do it back-to-back plays? All the training that you go through as a defense for these situations when you have to get the ball back, everything you go through, holding up the runner, raking at the football, getting to the passer, knocking it out of his hands, whatever way, they have to get the ball back.
Now can they stand tall again for a huge fourth-quarter stop? He's got his man. That's Hardman. And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the fourth, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. If they continue to throw these safe passes, who can blame them?
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Mahomes going to throw. To the right side, it's Kelsey.
Personal foul. This is roughing the passer. Defense. Hey, man, let's play our game.
They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And Hill with it over the middle. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 11 more on that one and another first down.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
Here's Edwards-Helaire. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Jamin Davis, the rookie first-round pick, in on the tackle.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
On 2nd and 9, Mahomes. He'll drop that off to Edwards-Helaire. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Chiefs have got the passing game rolling a bit, and another first down. Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the fourth quarter, but the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game.
He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Off the edge, the sack by Matt Ioannidis.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
So after a rare misstep on this drive, they'll try to make amends on 2nd and 15. Now Edwards-Helaire. 3 yards on the gain. They're going to need to do better on this next play. It'll be 3rd and 12.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. It makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
On 3rd down, here's Edwards-Helaire. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
Well, they certainly didn't appear to be fired up about their options throwing the football. So, to me, this seems like a case of just kind of taking their medicine there, run the ball, see if they could pick up something. Instead, they were throwing for a loss.
Butker's kick here is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So that maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to salt one away in the fourth.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist. But time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away. And Carter deciding not to bring this one out. Well, another drive coming up for this Washington offense, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Heineke on first down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Brandon Sheriff, the all-pro guard, called for the penalty there. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Heineke to throw it. He'll go underneath with this one to McKissick. Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll make this a 2nd and 13. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
To throw again on 2nd down. Heineke. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line.
With all the success they've had throwing the football as a pass rusher, you know you've got to come hard when you see him drop back to throw. So I really like this call to counteract that pass rush with a screen. It turns into positive yardage. A lot of times the offense says, just replace the rusher with the ball, and it turns into a good play.
Now on 3rd down, an extra DB out there for the Chiefs. Throwing, Heineke. And he finds McLaurin. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
On 1st and 10, Heineke. Forced out to his left. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down. From the gun, Heineke. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. And he's got this down to the 35. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
Good yardage on the completion there. And when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
1st down, Heineke. Open man is Samuel, complete. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 13-yard gain yet again, just like last play. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Yeah, everyone dialed in. So it's Washington with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score.
A first down throw for Heineke. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
And let's face it, this defense has had its share of struggles all game long, and they know that they can put it all behind them if they defend well here in the 2-minute drill. Excellent coverage right there to force the incompletion.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Now Heineke.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. To the air again, Heineke.
And that is incomplete.
Passing lanes, tough to come by with so many defensive backs on the field here late in the game. And it's not just the number of bodies, it's their quickness and their agility that makes it tough to complete a pass.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed. But if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Important extra point up and through. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away.
This one fielded at the 5. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. KC's offense ready to take over.
And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a 1st down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the 2nd half. A gorgeous day, 1-score game. 1st and 10 here. The drive will begin with a run by Edwards-Helaire.
Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30.
And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts.
As they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here.
Edwards-Helaire as they run out of the gun. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up third down. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he was able to shed one tackle but could not get away from there. Now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's the Chiefs punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Heineke now in the Washington offense. Down by 7. 1:16 remaining. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on first down. They'll look to throw. That's complete to his tight end, Seals Jones. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. A gain of 6 there on first.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. They got to go thank the guys on D.
Back to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The way he's throwing the football today, almost a surprise when he doesn't complete a pass like happened there, but he needs a few more to get his guys downfield.
Well, the way he's throwing it leads him to believe that he's going to get those completions, and that means the guys going out for passes, they'll run even harder because they expect it as well.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. And that will be incomplete. What a great sequence by this defense so far. They've given him nowhere to go with the football.
And they just have to make it stand up one more time because it appears that they've got their number. Can they not have a slip up here and allow the touchdown?
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And now possession's going to go over with a football at the 20-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. And with the defense out of timeouts, powerless to stop the clock, this should just be a couple of kneel downs. Victory in the cards now for the Chiefs as they take a knee here. Mahomes down to a knee, and that should just about write a finish to this one.
So this one in the win column for Kansas City. And I tell you, this was a fun one. Just a close game. Nothing comes easy in this league, as you know. They had to work for that victory.
I've got to go back to what you just said. Nothing comes easy in this league. How many times have we talked to coaches prior to a game and assessed, you know, the strengths, the weaknesses, the whole deal? Even in games when one coach was a decided favorite, what do they always say to us? But you do know this is really a 7-point league. 7 points either way usually decides a ball game. We had exactly that in this one.
And not only that, but this is a gutsy road victory, one they can hang their hat on.